Hello, it's me, Robin, with Simple Food, Simple Life. Today is August the 22nd, 2025. And today is Friday Confab. Yay! Yay! Whoa! Silly old lady. I hope everybody is doing well. I'm so glad you're here. I got my coffee. You got your coffee? Got your tea? Got your Coca-Cola? Got your Dr. Pepper so we can get together and chat for a while. It's a nice day today. It's not as hot. Some of the humidity has dissipated, and it's a little better out there, I think. It's a great day. A great day. My youngest daughter is here for several days. She's taking some vacation days, getting away from work and sleeping in and all of that, which is awesome. And then later on, in the next few days, she's going to a concert with her daughter. So she's going to go visit her daughter, my granddaughter, and they have tickets to a concert, something they've been wanting to go to for a long time. So they're going to do that, which should be very fun for them. You know, my granddaughter's 22 now, so. But they're going to go to a concert, and they'll probably just have a blast. So that'll be great. And the kitty cat, Jon Snow, of course, gets to stay with Granny. As we know. So, anyway, it's going to be nice. It'll be nice for them. And it is, I said, well, it's not a very exciting place to take a vacation. You know, at your mother's. She said, I don't care. But there's one thing about it. You can't beat the price or the accommodations. 5-star cuisine. You can't beat that. Last night we had, you remember some of the past grocery hauls I got some Italian sausages for 50% off at Aldi. So we broke open a package of those. I cooked those with some sliced grilled onion, which was really good. And we had one of those packages of Velveeta mac and cheese, delicious, and some corn with some butter on it, some frozen corn. We call it a yellow meal. It was really very good. It was pretty delicious. So we enjoyed that. And of course, there's some leftovers. And so I suppose those will probably get eaten today. Tomorrow is Saturday, and tomorrow is my oldest son's birthday. He's my oldest kid. I've often thought it's got to be tough to be the oldest kid because you're born to people who don't know what they're doing. You have a child, you don't know what you're doing. You don't. And everybody is always there with advice, right? They're always there to give you advice on what to do, how to raise your child. Some of it's good and some of it's, I don't know, useless. So, but I was a young mother, so I have to say I don't know what I was doing, and neither did his dad. But hey, oh well. He made it. We made it. I don't know. He's going to be 58 tomorrow. And honestly, I don't know where the time has gone. I really don't. There's an old Willie Nelson song. I don't think Willie recorded it initially, but he wrote it back in the 60s maybe. And ain't it funny how time slips away? Ain't it funny how time slips away? And I often think of that, thinking, where did the time go? I don't know. And he has 3 younger siblings. My second son and then 2 sisters. My kids are very close in age. There's 6 years between the oldest and the youngest. And it seems like that's a lot of kids in a short length of time. However, I recommend it because your kids grow up together and they can be friends, and it's their first playmate. His brother was his first playmate, and because they're 13 months apart. So that is, to me, I don't know. I didn't plan it that way, but it worked out okay. It did. It worked out okay. So anyway, my daughter and I, and we're going to pick up my little sister, and we're going to, my lovely daughter-in-law has invited us to a bit of a birthday celebration, dinner, party, whatever, a dinner for my son's birthday tomorrow. And so we're going to go there, and it should be lots of fun. It should be very enjoyable. So I asked her if she would like for me to bring anything, and she said no, just us. So that, I think it's going to be fun. But he is my son, he's a coach. He works for the school system where he lives, and the last few years he's been in IT, and he's a girl dad. He has 2 daughters. He's a girl dad, and he loves sports. He loves basketball. When he was young, he was a bowler. He loved bowling. And he loves fishing. He doesn't eat fish, but he does love fishing. He's catch and release guy. He does know how to clean fish. He can do that for someone else who likes fish, but he does not eat fish. He's never liked fish. Just only to fish. And he, in the recent years, he's taken on the hobby of bird watching. Or as they say in the UK, he's a twitcher. He loves, and his favorite bird is the hummingbird. But he has bird feeders, bird cameras, bird apps, so he can listen to a sound of a bird off in the distance and put on the app and see what it is. He can tell you anything about birds. He loves birds. And sometimes if I'll see a bird, I try to get a picture of it and say, what bird is that? He knows what it is. So, and he loves to grill out. His wife bought him a beautiful, fancy schmancy barbecue grill, and he loves grilling out. He kind of takes after his dad in that way. His dad liked to grill, and also their dad did, and their dad was a sports person. Sports. Primarily football, but sports. So, anyway, he's a good man, he's a good son, and I'm so happy to be able to spend the day with him on his birthday. So that's awesome. I have his picture here. It's old, but you want to see it? You want to see it? It's me and my son. He was 11 months old. And I was actually pregnant. You can see in the picture I was pregnant with my second son, his little brother. And my oldest son, he was quite a big boy. And he didn't start walking until he was 11 months old. And it was quite a lug to carry around. It was a good thing I had a shelf here to put him on. He walked at 11 months old, but he did not, but he talked very, very early. I think that was because most of the time it was he and I just talked to him all the time. And he had quite a vocabulary before he was a year old. He could talk about, he could hold a conversation with you very easily. And sometimes I would think, he would say things and I would think, is that really a baby in there? Is it a baby? Because he always seemed older, and he was very good at communicating what he wanted, what he wanted to do. So he was a high energy kid, and kind of the boot camp of motherhood there. And keeping up with him, sometimes I think, okay, I think he's smarter than me. So sometimes it was quite a challenge, but he was a great little boy. I'm going to turn you around here and I'm going to show you this picture. There you go. He just woke up from his nap. And we lived in a duplex at the time, so the bedroom was upstairs, and you could see his little crib in the back, and that was a very old hand-me-down crib. And of course it was summer, hot. It was very hot. So I think, if I remember correctly, I think my mom took this picture because he had just gotten up from his nap, and I went up to get him. So I think it was her that was there that day, and she took the picture. You can see I'm bulging there. He was 11 months old in that picture, and then of course he was 13 months old when my second son was born. So this is Bobby. You can see it was hot. You can see how hot it is because he was taking his nap in just his diaper. Those were great times. Plastic pants or rubber pants over cloth diapers. It was awesome. What a great time. So I had 2 in diapers and 2 babies. Essentially, I had 2 babies at the same time. Only one was older than the other. But it was never a dull moment, I can tell you that. So I have to kind of smile. This smock I have on, it was a maternity dress for summer. And there was a lady, we lived in Illinois then, a small town in Illinois. There was a lady who, her name was Clara, and she was a great seamstress. She was a wonderful seamstress, big, she was a huge lady. She sewed all the time, and smoked like a chimney, and but she could make beautiful things. And of course you had to wash them several times when you picked them up, but that was okay. This was a dress. You can't see it. It was smocked up here. It was a smocking that had to be done by hand. And this material, it was a lightweight material with a wallpaper print, and it was a $1, I think it was like $1 a yard. And so I would buy the material, and she made me, it was 2 or 3 of these dresses. They were so comfortable and breezy because it was so hot. And of course, you know, we had no air conditioning. Most people did not have air conditioning then. And so, and she charged me $6 for each dress. And I bought the fabric. And they were awesome. And in actuality, those dresses took me through, I think they just took me through all the pregnancies, 3 pregnancies for sure. So that was back in the day when people were pregnant and actually wore pregnant clothes. Do you remember those days? I don't think they have necessarily maternity clothes per se anymore. But it was a terrific dress. It was so comfortable, and she did such a great job. She was a very sweet, good person. And she was lovely. Anyway, I thought you'd like to see that. He was a terrific baby, a terrific little boy. And here he is again later, after his brother was born, a few months down the road. Here he is again. Look at he's got a nice spiffy haircut right there. And so, yep. So that's my oldest, who will be 58 years old tomorrow. I don't know where the time slips away. I really don't. I don't know. It's crazy, but I'm so happy. I feel blessed. I feel blessed to be here and be able to celebrate that day with him. He was in the Navy for 7 years, and it's funny. He was a chubby little kid, but at some point he got very tall and very thin. He was very tall and very thin through most of his life. Okay, now we were not going to talk about the rest of it. Okay. All right, love you, son. So I'll get to see him tomorrow, and I'm pretty happy about that. Speaking of Willie Nelson, I know he's still with us, right? I like Willie Nelson. What was it? I saw his meme. It had a picture of Willie Nelson and Keith Richards, who they are old. Keith Richards, I don't think with Rolling Stone, I don't think he's as old as Willie Nelson, but he had the meme said, you young people need to work harder because you got to make sure we got plenty of retirement for our old age. I thought, oh my gosh. I thought that was so funny. Because, I mean, they look old as crust. Well, I do too. So that's just the way it goes. Do you guys have a favorite Willie Nelson song? I mean, if you like Willie Nelson, do you have a favorite Willie song? I think my all-time favorite Willie Nelson song is, and he didn't write this song, but he recorded it, is Always on My Mind. I like that song. I think that is a beautiful song. I think it's very touching. And I love it. You are always on my mind. You are always on my mind. Tell me that our sweet love hasn't died. I love that song. I think probably my second favorite is Angel Flying Too Close to the Ground. I like that one. I think my little sister's favorite is Crazy, that Patsy Cline recorded. But that was written by Willie Nelson. Willie is a prolific writer. He's been around a long time, and you gotta just stand back in awe. I mean, you do. That guy, he just keeps on going. I think it's awesome. Him and Clint Eastwood. You gotta wonder, don't you? I mean, you really do. I think it's awesome. I think it's absolutely awesome. I got to tell you something. Lee Majors, you know, the $6 million man, Lee Majors, well, he's done other things too. Come on now. But, and he was also in Big Valley. Many years ago, back in the 70s or early 80s, I think it was the early 80s, someone did a family search, a search of ancestors. A distant relative did on my dad's side, and in their research, the person who did it was a retired judge, and he wanted to, you know, that was going to be his hobby. He wanted to do the research the family lineage, and so he did. He went clear back to the 1600s, and when we first came here, and he discovered that Lee Majors, that we were related to Lee Majors, and it was like, what? But come to find out that Lee Majors' great-grandmother and my great-grandfather on my father's side were brother and sister. And it was like, what? And Lee's in his early life, his mother was, when she was pregnant with him, and his name was originally Harvey Lee Urey, and when she was pregnant with him, his father was killed in an accident. I think it was a car accident, and so it was he and his mother, and when he was 8 months old, his mother was hit by a car, and she was killed. And so his uncle and his aunt, and I think they were in Kentucky at the time, but his uncle and his aunt, and their name was Urey, they adopted him and raised him. And it was a while, I think. He was older before he knew that he was adopted, because he was so little. And back then, you know, they didn't really tell kids they were adopted. They didn't really necessarily reveal that early in their lives. And so the relative of ours who found out about this, and he wrote about it in his excuse me, his extensive report about the ancestry. And so Lee Majors, who was not Lee Majors at the time, he was a really good football player. He got a scholarship, I think it was Virginia. Anyway, he played football, and then he went into acting, and his stage name became Lee Majors. And I think I'd heard that Majors was a name in his mother's family. And so that was, so I thought that was so interesting at the time. And it was kind of funny because I remember watching him in Big Valley with Barbara Stanwyck, and, you know, if you remember the Western Big Valley that was on TV. And he played Heath. And I can remember at the time, of course, he was really young, and they would, sometimes family would comment, oh, he looks like so-and-so in the family. It was like, so-and-so looks like him, or whatever. And it was just like, oh, well, that's funny. But nobody really, we never knew that. So anyway, And then in the early years, he was married to Farrah Fawcett. Remember the iconic poster of Farrah Fawcett? My boys had that in their room. They had the Farrah Fawcett picture in their room. So they remember it very well. You know, there's the swimsuit photo and the hair, the iconic hair and everything. Yeah. So, anyway, so I think it's interesting. I think you don't know in this life what connection there is between one another in the family of human beings. I think that we're connected more than we think, and even related to one another in our bloodline more than we think. I think that sometimes that is the case. Even just going way back. And it doesn't make us any better than anybody else. It doesn't make us any worse than anybody else. I just think that it's because we are human beings and we live in this world. And there are oftentimes connections that we may never know about. And then there are times when we're connected to one another and we do know. And I think it's interesting. Are any of you related to someone that you couldn't even imagine that you would be related to them in your family tree? Could that be the case? If it is, tell us about it. Because I think things like that are kind of interesting. I don't necessarily get obsessed with ancestry and that kind of thing, but I do think it can be interesting. And especially, I've seen old photographs of my mom's father's family when they were young, his parents and all of his siblings. I think there was 14 siblings. Anyway, there's this family photo, and it's old. And you see all these people and you think, oh my gosh, that looks like so-and-so, and that looks like so-and-so. And you can see those looks popping out, those features, the genetic features popping out in people you know now. And that was maybe over 100 years ago. And it's like, what? How can that be? But sometimes genetic qualities are so strong in people that they show it shows up from your ancestry into the present day. And I think that's kind of fascinating. Genetics, it's just kind of a fascinating thing. And also mannerisms, actions, mannerisms. My second son has mannerisms that are so much like my younger brother. His speech inflection, the way he speaks, because they're low talkers. The way he sits, his mannerisms are so much like my younger brother. Sometimes it's kind of shocking to me, because I think it wasn't like he was raised around him all the time where he would, pick that up. But it's a genetic thing. And my nephew, I have a nephew who passed away many years ago, but his voice and some of his mannerisms were so much like my older brother. It was kind of shocking sometimes. It's like, and you ever been in that position? You see that, and there's that spark, there's that moment, and it kind of, you're taken aback by it. It's like, what was that? But it happens in families. And I think I think it's just an indication to us that we are the family of man, and that somehow or other there's this connection throughout humanity. I think that's what I think. Let me know what you think. What do you think about that? I don't know how I got on that subject. I don't know how I got on that subject. Oh my goodness. That's funny. Okay. I've talked to ear off. That's enough. All right. I hope you guys have a great day. But that's it for me today. I love you guys. You know I do. As always, you know that little is much when God is in it. Okay? All right. Meet me in the comments, and I will meet you there, and we can just talk about stuff. Okay? All right. When you see that little heart on your comment, you know I've read your comment. I have looked at it. I have read it. Okay? So, unless you're very naughty, but I'm not going to talk about that part. Okay. Love you guys. I'll talk to you later. Bye.